let's get into the Who Would Win fight. It's going to be Harley Quinn versus Poison Ivy. I was really trying to think of a good pair to go against Harley because Suicide Squad's coming out on the 5th. And I wanted to do something with Harley Quinn because she is my queen. She is me. She is me when I finally snap and kill everybody because I just can't take it anymore. Which, by the way, side note, recently my humor has been really dark. Now, I know I had to take like a little bit of break and I haven't really been around. But I found what really helped me get out of my rut was like my humor, my really dark humor. So I'm going to try and incorporate that a little bit more in my videos. My boss was making a comment about me at work and he had said something about, you know, I was like, oh, well, that box is just kind of whatever. And he was like, yeah, that's what I expect. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm full of letdowns. Like, I like that kind of humor. I like kind of dry, self-loathing kind of humor. It works for me. I use that a lot. So maybe you'll see more of that. And that definitely helped me get back into my area that you see. But now, we're going to talk about who would win Harley versus Ivy. We're going to talk a little bit about Harley and what she has going for her as far as being in a fight. Now, some of you might disagree with this. As per usual, you can leave your opinions below. But Harley, obviously, her powers, well, not really powers, but her abilities, she's a world-class gymnast. Like, she was a gymnast before she was a psychologist. Before she did any of that, she was like a world-class gymnast. She is amazing at that. She's also immune to toxins and poisons, which is ironic because she got that ability from Poison Ivy when they paired up. She has a lot of gadgets. As you know, she has her mallet, she has a baseball bat, she has a gun that shoots out like rope, and when it shoots out it wraps people up and it ties them up. She also has another gun where it has like a little kind of jester head that she sticks inside and she shoots it and it can hit things. She has that. She has guns. She has little bombs that she's always made. She's always had like the really old school bombs with the black circle and the little, string, and light it, and poof. She has those. She has all that stuff, but now all of that stuff came from the Joker. So even though she kind of always takes it with her when she leaves, which is ironic, she always takes like all of her gadgets with her when she leaves. Sorry, I have an itch on my leg. Ugh. But yeah, she always takes that with her, but she does have them. They all exist. So I think she would always use them with her, and she's good at hand-to-hand combat. Now, she's not like Batman status or even like Black Widow, but she is good at hand-to-hand combat because you see her in a couple of things like Injustice for All in the New Adventures of Superman, where she has to fight Mercy, Lex Luthor's assistant / hench lady. She has to fight her. There's a couple of times where, even in Assault on Arkham, you see her fighting, and she's good. She incorporates her gymnastic ability with her hand-to-hand combat, which is really good. I think that that's something that could use to her advantage, but at the same time, she's a good villain. She's a good villain. But the thing is, how would she be if it's just her and she has to fend for herself? Even though now she's fending for herself, and you're seeing it more, but they've kind of created her more into an anti-hero and less like a villain. That's why I kind of wanted to really just ground this video into their villain techniques, and I'm not including the New 52 into this. I'm not including the Harley Quinn comics because she's more of an anti-hero in that, and this is more just about villains, especially because with the theme of Suicide Squad coming out, I feel like doing a villain video would be great. You got Poison Ivy. Poison Ivy is, I feel like if you're going to pick a feminist icon, Poison Ivy is like the best one you can pick. Because I don't know if you remember in Batman the Animated Series, she was like the feminist. She hated men. She used to always talk shit about them. She tied up Batman to a table with a whole bunch of appliances at one point and called them the chains of womanhood, which is amazing. Maybe she should give herself her opinion about that whole meme. But personally, I love Poison Ivy because she is a very strong female character. She's very like, fuck men, women are the shit. We should have our, we should be strong and we should be in the spotlight and we should be acknowledged too, which I totally agree with. So she's interesting. She's a lot of fun because she gives no fucks. Now, she also has powers too. She can control plant life. I don't want to bring this movie up, but I have to because she's in it. Batman and Robin. Oh God, she's in Batman and Robin, kind of. not really. I mean, there's a version of her. I feel like Uma Thurman would have been a great Poison Ivy had they tried more. Like, all of them apologized for that movie, by the way. So thank you, George Clooney. Thank you, Joel Schumacher. Thank you, everyone that's a part of that movie that apologized, because we've been waiting a long time for it. But there's a scene where she kind of goes into this old broken down building and she runs all the, hoodlums out, and it becomes her area. That's her fortress. And it's just covered in plant life that she has manipulated and grown, and she'll plant them. She'll kind of start with all these little plants that she'll plant, and then she can grow it into something crazy, like the giant Venus flytrap that you see her sitting on in Batman and Robin, and then also in Assault on Arkham. Prime example. I don't know why I brought up Batman and Robin first. I should have brought up Assault on Arkham first. Assault on Arkham, when they let go all of the bad guys, they let them all go, kind of like in Arkham City, when all of them get loose, you see her she's in a greenery. She's in her own little plant room where she lives, and she can manipulate, and she uses them to her advantage. But she's surrounded by that because she needs that. That's a part of her body now. That's a part of all the plant toxins, all of that. That's all part of her body. That's her. And she comes out in Assault on Arkham, and she's on top of this giant Venus flytrap, and she has fucking tentacles coming out and ripping people apart and shooting gas everywhere and all that shit. That's what she's bringing to the table. She's bringing friends, but like the worst kind of friends. She's bringing like Poison Ivy to the mix, which nobody likes Poison Ivy. It's itchy, it burns, it's not fun. It's a poison kiss. Now, this is weird because it's kind of... It's misinterpreted a lot, because in the comic books and in like Assault on Arkham and anything like that, her kiss creates like zombies almost. They create like... She usually only does it to men because she thinks like the male race is way below women. She doesn't think that they're as evolved as them, and that they're hedonistic, and that, all of that, products of war, blah, blah, blah. So anytime she uses her poison kiss, it's really like in a zombie way, where she uses them to do her bidding, and she's kind of like, hey, listen, this is what that is. Now, in Batman and Robin, why do I keep saying Batman vs. Robin? Because that's kind of what it was. It was kind of Batman vs. Robin, because Batman's like, you're not my partner, and Robin's like, but I'm your partner, you gotta trust me, and blah, blah, blah. And then Freeze and Ivy were alone to go do whatever the fuck they wanted for like an hour. But in Batman and Robin, her kiss was actually poisonous. Like, it killed people, because she killed the 2 guards in Mr. Freeze's cell in Arkham. She killed them. She kissed them and they died. So I don't really know which one you would want to use. I mean, I like both concepts. I like the concept of the kiss creating zombies, and I also like the concept of the kiss being actually poisonous, like Poison Ivy, and killing people. So I guess we'll go with the zombie one, because that's the one that's used more. But either way, she does have a poison kiss. Whatever it does, that's up to you. However you want to interpret that. Because I'm interpreting it as how I've always seen it, which is her using it to kind of like... It's used to create like plant zombies, which is weird. But if you want to use it as like, oh, she's going to kill somebody, fine. Which, I mean, I'm bringing that up because what if? What if they're fighting and there's like a seductive kiss? So who do I think would actually win? Now, it's funny because Harley, everybody knows, Harley is my queen. Harley is me. Harley is everything. I love her. I mean, I even have my Harley Quinn jacket on today. But my answer is going to definitely shock you. I think Poison Ivy would win. I personally 125% think Ivy would win. Only for the simple fact of Harley's very weak-willed, so I feel like through the fight, Harley's going to be trying more to latch on to her than trying to fight her. Whereas I think there'll be a couple of moments where Harley could manipulate her and kind of like get her to be weak, have like Ivy feel for her, like as a woman feel for her and be like, we should be sticking together. We're women. We should be together. And that could work. But I feel like Ivy is so full of herself and she is so strong-minded and strong-willed. She wouldn't even care. She wouldn't even care. She would just see Harley as another weak woman that needs to just disappear, needs to be gone. She needs to not be here anymore, which I don't agree, but I get where she's coming from. Also, considering the fact that Ivy has control of plant life, and the poison kiss. Like, Ivy has actual abilities. She has a lot of actual powers. And like I said, with Harley, her gadgets, I feel like she would use her gadgets. I feel like some of them would probably fail for like comic relief, because that does happen a lot. Like during fights, I feel like every time Harley tries to use a certain thing, it kind of backfires because she's not that hardcore of a villain. So I feel like after Ivy like trashes her, I feel like Ivy would be like, all right, come with me so I can teach you how to be a strong woman, a strong, independent woman. So I don't know if you would consider that anyone winning. Like, I feel like Ivy would win the fight, but Harley might win the war. Because Ivy would win the fight, and then later on, Ivy would take Harley later and groom her and make her a really strong, independent character. And then who knows, Harley could come back and just end it all. There you go, guys. That is my who would win fight. I am sweating to death in this sweater. Leave a comment below of who you think would win and why. Also give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. I post videos every single weekday except for when I'm depressed. No, I'm joking. I'm back in full effect. Like I said, my voice is, I don't know what's going on with my voice. So I'm probably not going to be doing my Ask Harleys for a little bit until this situation fixes itself. I don't know what's going on. I need to drink more tea. I think it's like the end of summer, so all that pollen and humidity and everything is just raping my throat. So yes, I'm back in full effect. I will be posting every weekday like I have been before. So make sure to give this a thumb up and subscribe. Leave a comment below of who you think would win. I love you, nerd fuckers, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.